It doesn't work.
Fucked up royally and correlated 55 weeks to a year, which is why I'm calling myself out on it right now and direct before the jokes come at me. Good evening, Chris. How are you?
I'm all good, buddy. You?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited, full of energy today, man.
It's going to be a good one. Always is. Absolutely love a blockchain banter on a Monday. Makes Mondays worth doing.
100%, and it's been spicy, the timeline, to say the least, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's been absolutely spicy out there.
Certainly has, especially with that pump.fun X account getting...
My God, yeah, that's literally breaking news, like the last, 25 minutes, something like that. Everyone's speculating to the max, even myself, secretly hoping they do go down, because I didn't like them to begin with, but something to do with some illegal use of X API or something.
I mean, that's the one bit of evidence I could find, and it is just a source, trust me, bro. So we'll soon find out. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, pump.fun itself isn't down, is it? It's just the account that's down, the X account.
That's what I'm trying to find out, because we don't have access over here. Being in the UK, it was blocked a long time ago. So I've been asking people and chats, but we had to start the space. So I guess if they've answered me, I've not seen it yet.
I don't use it anyway. I'm testing out Moonbound, a much better version, healthier, cleaner version of pump.fun. It's the pump.fun what it should have been, and I absolutely love it. I launched my token WHAMS, WHAMS, and we have a merch store. Again, I don't know if people know that we have a merch store, but we do. And launched WHAMS, and it's doing terrific.
What's your merch store called? Your merch store called?
It's rockthekaspa.com.
Okay.
If you go there, you get the best merch going.
Oh, you got merch store? What did you say?
Yeah.
Did nobody know this? This is crazy.
What the hell?
I do try to keep it on the down low, because I don't want to be one of these annoying people that keep pushing stuff in people's faces.
I wish you would have been annoying about it, man. You would have told all of us we could have partnered on like an NFT merch bundle or something. Opportunities lost.
Oh, I love it. We are having fun. It's probably only us up here that are laughing. Everybody else in the audience is probably thinking, shut up and get on with the show.
No, we're all laughing. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
But it's like what I tell my wife always. She always says no one else is laughing. And then I always say, but I am. So I don't care. I'm happy.
Exactly, Wolf. That's what matters. Be happy as a person. Be happy in yourself. And then everything else is good. How's everyone doing anyway? Let's say our hellos, and then we can get on with the blockchain banter space. Let's start with Levendi. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm excited, ecstatic, building in the background, putting things together, working with you and other people. It's just keeping me energized, man. I love it, to be honest. This is what I love about it. I moan and bitch to you guys in the back end about some stuff when it gets a bit too much, but secretly I fucking like it, man. It's just seeing what it's going to be when everything gets put together. It's just the vision of it. It's just what's making me like really fall in love with the work.
100%, man. And what the hell was going on with crumbs?
Fucking hell, man! Stop it!
You took a screenshot and dropped it. I was like, what on earth is going on?
Bro, I woke up this morning. We was below 200k market cap. Now we're nearly 330,000. I don't know what the hell's going on. I see a lot of volume across Kaspa.com in the last 6 hours, but I've not been able to dig in properly since I've just come back from work not that long ago, and just we got the show, right? So I've not had a thorough look, but just from a glance I've been seeing, and all throughout the day I've been trying to see at work, like it's just been, I don't know, man, it's unbelievable. Starting from literal zero and going through the whole full set toaster initiative for 3 solid months, just under 100 days I think it was, to what it is now, and what we're doing again in the back end. I spoke a little bit just a minute ago about it, but It's awesome, man. And I just literally took a screenshot I put in the Crumpet Media chat that the email I sent off to Tangem. So fingers crossed on that one as well.
That would be awesome to get crumbs integrated into Tangem as well. That'd be great. Keep our crumbs nice and safe, which is good. But yeah, glad everything's going.
It will. Sorry, I was going to say on Tangem, it will give me an excuse to finally get some cards.
You don't have Tangem cards?
No, bro. I've been on Ledger, man. Remember how we met?
Yeah, I do. But I thought you would have had a and you just
No.
on this show. This show's recorded. They'll listen to this and go, "No, we're not listing crumbs."
You know how transparent I am, bro. I can't, bro. I've got to say it. Even if it's calling myself out, I've not had with all these initiatives around from everyone on Nacho, from everyone, even on our stage, and I've just not gotten one because I've had Ledger, I've had what I've needed, but I can't not pick one up if they list crumbs. You know what I mean?
Well, in case Tangem are listening, I have 4 of your cards, and I'll probably get more. So I make up for Levendi's lack of Tangem card. Oh dear. Ashton, how are you doing, sir?
Fantastic, man. I look forward to these Mondays all weekend now. And today specifically, because it's a breath of fresh air. I get a break. We've been in a dev meeting putting the final polishes on the public Moonbound test all day today. So we started at about 7:30 a.m. my time, and that was about 5.5 hours ago. So thank you guys for starting the show and giving me a break.
Oh, damn. That's intense.
Yeah, we couldn't call it a work. We couldn't call it a meeting. It had to be a working session, so no one would go crazy.
Fair enough. That's a lot to go over, though. And did you say that's regarding public testing for Moonbound?
It is, yeah. We've been trying to get this out for the last week or so, but we really want to have a great first experience for everyone that that has a chance to test publicly. So we decided to delay a tiny bit, put a couple more, polishes, coat of wax on it, things like that. So it's drying right now, if you will.
Awesome. Maybe we can squeeze some alpha out of you a bit later. Who knows? We'll try. Wolf, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not as excited as you guys for blockchain banter because I actually do have a life. So this is just one of those things I do on a Monday evening.
These are your sleeping sessions, aren't they? This gives you time to have a little sleep.
Yeah, I wish. I do fall asleep in a lot of these at the very end. I have to say it's a bit tough because I always try to get into bed at 10. I get up at 4, so I do. My optimal amount of sleep is 6 hours. If I do more or less, it's a struggle. So yeah, when I hit 11 o'clock, I tend to be quite automatic and falling asleep every single time. So yeah, it's not been easy.
So you miss the most amazing catchphrase in the world right now, my little sign off. You've probably never heard of my sign off, have you? It's incredible.
No, what the hell was that?
Oh, I'll do it for you now.
But look, Chris, thanks to CryptoPumpz, he's got it in the title.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, look at CryptoPumpz's title on his YouTube live. His live streams for us pretty much every Monday. Massive shout out to CryptoPumpz down there. We love him.
Oh.
He does great shows. He had a show with you recently, didn't he? I've still got to actually go back and watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday.
How was that? I bet you didn't fall asleep for that one, did you?
No, because there's a video on me, so I have to be awake. So I made a tea, and I stayed awake for that. But my wife was giving me shit because I didn't comb my beard beforehand. She said I can't go on camera like that, and I was like, "Fucking, I don't care." But anyway, it was really good. So it's just a bit of an introduction. CryptoPumpz made the mistake of asking me what Wolfies is about and what I think the future is. So I then ended up in a monologue for an hour about the future of crypto and the world and sovereignty and all of that. And then he had a bunch of holders there that actually spoke about why they are in Wolfies and what they think of the community and what's the interactions we have and all of those things. So it's quite insightful if anyone wants to figure out or understand how the community works and what we do there. It's a good YouTube to check.
Wolfpack's growing bigger every day, bro. It's doing good. It's good to see.
Very true.
Awesome. Okay, let us get on with today's show because I'm worried we'll lose time and Wolf will fall asleep.
Yes.
Levendi, who have we got up first?
So today we're hearing from Kaspa Funding, Blocks, and ZellaSwap, as well as Wolf. And a small update from Nacho. I think we've gone over that. You've had your 5-hour meeting. I don't know if you're going to dive into anything more. Leave that all for next week. But we've got a spicy one tonight. I want to hear all about what's going on with Kaspa Funding, Blocks, and ZellaSwap. Zealous, you guys have been smashing it. I made a little video on you as well, but we'll dive onto that in a little while. Blocks, you guys also mine. I want to hear everything about you guys, what you're doing as well. You've got several people up on stage as well. Sebastian, the crypto boxer, and Jonathan Rivera. So looking forward to diving in. And Kaspa Funding will be going over the mixer we now have on Kas, which is something that excites everyone. And looking forward to diving in.
Awesome. So who are we going with first?
So up first, we'll go with Kaspa Funding, then we'll flow on to Blocks and then ZellaSwap.
Sounds good to me. No introduction needed. Kaspa Funding, how you doing, bro?
Not bad. How are you guys doing today? It's warm and muggy here, but yeah. So let's dive right in. So a lot of people we talked about having some form of ability to mix on Caspa, as well as a way to multi-send to multiple different wallets. That way you can send to family members.
We've lost you. You've gone really, really quiet.
Can you hear me?
That's it. That's better.
Yeah, so like a lot of people wanted the ability to mix, send to multiple family members or multiple wallets they control. So I got my hands on some code from a developer in the Castle space that I trust, and they're like, see what you could build from this. And we started to mess around with it, and a lot of people were offering ideas of how it should work. Um, right now, everything is in a true beta form. We went currently with a hop method where it's you send to your final destination wallet that you want to send to. When you use the mixer, it provides a automatically provides a wallet, and that wallet then hops a couple times to your destination wallet. Um, this is all just like the base point because it adds obfuscation, but it's not a fully true mixer yet. And the reason why it's not a truly full mixer yet is because you can follow hops over and 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 over again. But we're gonna work on batching and other features, but to do all this, we got to make sure we don't break things. And as we all know, the current Casper code has spam TX protection. So when we were encountering issues where we were doing multiple inputs and outputs, and it was essentially spamming the network, and we can't have that because it will cause failures. Um, so while we were testing, some things we made sure we included was our session IDs. The session ID is something that lets users, when they copy the session ID and they do a mix, they have their section ID of what is supposed to occur during their mix. This section ID lets us automatically pull from the back end what was supposed to happen. That way we can just re-pull and be like, okay, this did not complete its hops. But yeah, it's been we've been working on it for like I want to say like 2 months now. We had a few people help us in many aspects. Andrew's been working with the front end. I don't want to name people because I don't know if they want to be named, but they've been helping us like go through test aspects of it and give us feedback and say, hey, we need to work on this. That's not quite what it should be. And it's truly just been a process to create something that the community asks for. Those who've tested the hop, they'll realize although the website says there's a fee, there's currently no fee. We were trying to make sure that it was feeless. And the code is on GitHub, but it's not a public GitHub yet because we're still working on tons and tons of improvement. And if you take a look at the website, if you go to Kaspa.com, you'll notice we've been adding a lot of front end ease information to the public so people are aware. One thing that we have to add is a clear, like, hey, make sure you save your session ID. The reason, like I said, the reason why it's so important is because we all know on blockchain, you can send a transaction and you can be like, hey, this is my wallet, there's a transaction, it came from here. But for us, we need to be able to backtrack, hey, did this come through the mixer? Did it not come through the mixer? And for us, that makes it very easy for us to be like, all right, let's pull the back end. Let's see if this is one of the intermediate wallets that were created by a private key. Because the way it works on the back end is when you make when you start a mix, the Kaspa lib automatically creates a wallet with its own private key and then starts the hop. It's automatically done from the node. There's like a lot of things that we want to work the kinks out of. Like, for example, we don't want to ever have the private keys, but in this instance, we currently, when the first hop creates, it creates a private key which is stored, but it's not stored accessibly. Only if you have to pull the back end to reload that wallet. But by the time you reload it, the hop should already be gone. But yeah, there's a lot of things we've been, like the raffle that we created on the mixer, and we were talking about the name, and it's funny because when you see mixer, you automatically just think, oh, a mixer like in crypto. But if you've ever been to college or member of a fraternity or a sorority, you're familiar with the term mixer being a meetup, a party, just tons and tons of different networking and tools. And that's the whole premise that we're trying to build out here. So we have multiple different community tools for people to use. It's by far not perfect yet, obviously, but the basic functionality has been working as expected. I don't know if any of you have tested out the mixer yourself or done any of the small little transaction tests, but it's let's say basic. It's basically what it should be on a base start.
Well, I think this is something that the community have been asking for a while, what I've seen on the timeline anyway. And I personally am all in favour of this. I think it's a brilliant idea. But a lot of it actually came from what I remember anyway, from waiting for Tangem to have a multi-address wallet for Kaspa. Everybody's obviously waiting for that because people want that level of privacy. And obviously the problem with Tangem at the moment, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Tangem, but that is a problem for privacy, is it's all going to one address. That's it. And so I think there definitely is a need for this, and I don't see a problem. I know there's arguments against it because of maybe money laundering and things like this that may go on. In my opinion, you're going to get that anywhere anyway, with a mixer, without a mixer, they'll go through a different mixer.
It's insane. Like, people are like, oh, there's gonna be this and but we put a bunch of privacy stuff of like, don't use it for illicit reasons. But ready, people use the US dollar for illicit reasons. People are gonna do whatever they're gonna do anyway. And I agree with what you said with how Tangem doesn't have multi wallets, but some people have multiple Tangems. And the thing that we like about the multi send feature is if you have 3 Tangems, you can split your send to 3 Tangems. You don't have to go, all right, I'm gonna send from this tangent to this one tangent. Now you have the option to go, you know what? I want to send to all three of my tangents at once. We wanted to be able to do, we tested it with 1 send, 2 send, 3 send, and we ran into the mass and spam issues at 4 and 5. And we looking through it, we don't know if it's um a issue with fees or if it's an issue just with outputs. But that's why we have the base code set, and we welcome any developer in Kaspa or community dev to come look at the code. I personally, I'm not one who cares very much about um, I'm the one who created this or did. No, we wanted to build something for the community, but in order to do it, we had to kind of like put a mini wall up so we can actually start building the tools. You know.
Well, I think you've done a fantastic job. So, so I take it this is open source, is it as well?
So the code will be open source. Right now, it's on the Kaspa funding GitHub, but it's behind the privacy. You know how you can set private on GitHub? It's currently set to private, but there's a few people who asked to see the code, and I sent them access to the GitHub. It's not an issue of having people look at the code. If it's someone in the community who's going to actually like, hey, you need to fix this. This will help, and do those kind of things. Cool. We want to have the bits and the dots and T's crossed before we go. All right, open source it. Let people do whatever they want, because once we do that, there's gonna be 900,000 mixers, and we want to make sure that people have a product to build off of that works properly. The whole point is to protect the community. I'm always the first one who wants to do the best to protect the community. Yeah, things happen, and there's things that out of our control that happens, but we have to do our best to make sure that it's done at least as best as we can.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm actually, because I did actually think it would probably be the smarter thing to do to not have it open source straight away until you've got all the stuff figured out and the code's good and everyone's happy with it, and then you can open source it from there, I suppose. But after this mixer's fully out and working, it's a proper working product.
Yeah,
because like you said, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's even like little visual things that are incorrect on the website. Like, for example, if you look at the raffle, it was pointed out to me today, and it's something that has to be fixed. Because, you know, once you smush 2 bugs, 26 more pop up. Like, if you look at the raffle, the draw date, when the raffle actually ends is correct. It shows the correct let me pull it up on my phone because it's easier. Uh, it shows correctly of when the next draw is going to be, but the API for the date of when it is incorrect. And the reason why the date's incorrect is because I didn't have it set for the date. We only had it set for the time. So that's one of the little things that has to be fixed. And that's why we want to make sure that everyone understands it's a beta. Everything is functioning, but it's a beta.
I'm also actually glad it's someone like you that's helping along with this mixer, because you're quite known in the space anyway. Everybody knows you. You try. You do well for the space. So this also helps that a mixer's coming from somebody like you who's already built up that trust and has earned that trust in the space, which is a good thing. So yeah, I'm certainly glad a mixer is coming from the likes of you rather than some complete unknown. Not that a complete unknown wouldn't be or couldn't potentially be good space. It's just that obviously you've got a track record, so it's easier to trust a mixer coming from you than from a random person. I mean, trust has to be built up, doesn't it?
Yeah, but to build off that, I don't think it's about trust. Like, for example, once the code is there, the code is what should be trusted. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I want to make sure that everything before we even get it to that point is as best as it can be. And anyone that's in the community, like I said, that's a dev that builds and is familiar with the inner workings of how, you know, Kaspa itself works, help message me out. Sure, here's the GitHub code. What do you see? Audit it. Do whatever you need. I'm like I said, it should be, as we say, trustless, you know. And I just want it to be something for the community. I don't want people to do terrible things with it. I want people to be able to send money to their kids privately without someone going, oh, their kid has this much. There's this much in their wallet. It came from here. Oh, you're address number 2. Like that. Like, yeah, it's good to know certain things, but there should be a curtain at some point, you know. But yeah.
Well, saying that, like with all these $5 rent attacks, $15 rent attacks that are happening across Europe and in the US as well, I suppose. It's because people know how much they've got in their wallets or have a good idea of how much they've got in their wallets. And there's a lot of people in the crypto space that just want to be anonymous. They don't want people to know they've got that and don't want people tracking and following their addresses. And I totally get that. It's not like part of being your own bank and being responsible for your own money is being responsible for the information you have out there and give out there. I'm fucking terrible for that because I'm obviously I'd imagine most people pretty much know where I live, my actual address by now. So I'm terrible
I'm very
for that.
private.
But
I'm very private. I don't want people to know anything.
Yeah, you're extremely private. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's important. Like, it's where the information should be available, but only like you shouldn't have everybody's exact to the T. Like, for example, address. Like, that's terrifying. Like, the amount of bad things that actually happen, like people getting like robbed and held at gunpoint in New York City and stuff for their wallets. Like, this stuff happens. You know what I mean? It's not all rainbows and sunshines. And I think it's funny when people are like, oh, well, you know, people are going to use this mixer for illicit reasons. Yeah, probably the people who are going to do illicit shit anyway are going to do illicit shit. But the people who are going to do things to protect themselves are going to do things to protect themselves. You don't go, hey, I live at this address and, you know, my car, I'm never home at this time. Like, it's you know, that's like, it's, I don't know. I just heard many people saying they wanted some form of this. We had a payment splitter type code. We amended the code to add this functionality. Um, like I said, if there's any community devs or people like who want to take a look at it and help with it, be my guest. If you run into any issues when you're trying to mix, it's simple. Just send us the session ID, and we can find if it's stuck on one of the intermediate wallets because the private key populates. And if it's stuck in one of those wallets, we can pull the private key and force the send. On the back end, we're working on full automation. Like, if it gets stuck, it automatically retries the error and continues to push. But that gets more and more the more and more hops and obfuscation we add, it creates more problematic scenarios. There's 2 privacy coins. There's Monero, which everyone knows, and there's also Neptune that's being built. And we were looking into ways of how we can, you know, mix into one of those and then back to Kaspa. And we have to look at things like fees. How, like, we don't want someone to be like, oh, I want to mix $5, but it's going to cost me $4, you know. And there's just a lot to be sorted out, and it's a base point. We started with the things that we thought the community would want to be able to use, and for me, the most important function that exists is the ability to send to multiple wallets. You don't have to go, all right, I want to send to this wallet, let me make this transaction, then go back and do this transaction again, and then do this transaction. No, you have 3 locations, you want to send it, here, boom, split to these 3, simple.
So cool, man. And is this going to have to require a smart contract, or will you implement a smart contract later on once layer 2s are online?
So currently, it doesn't require a smart contract. It runs directly through a Kaspa node, and that's one of the things I'm a big fan of is staying on the network, because, you know, like, it anything that generates fees for miners, in my eyes, is a good thing. We already know that mining is real rough. If you're a miner and you don't have under 6.5 cent or 7 cent electricity, it is woof for you. But if people who are working on smart contracts and those kind of integrations want to see what they can help in that aspect, have at it. If for example, if Nacho or Zealous or anyone working on L2 based integrations are like, hey, what can we do? Let's see if we can make it a decision. Sure, here's the code. Let's sit down. What do you guys want to do? And that's what it's about for building for the community. And that's the whole premise of this project. It's been the same since day one, since I started doing anything in Kaspa. I've always just been like, what can I do for the community? What can we do together? Um, from funds, from events, from just giving away tons and tons of Kaspa when I first came. Like nothing's changed with me. Um, well, the world and Kaspa itself has changed a little bit. It's become a little bit I don't know the best word to say, but angry. I don't know what's going on lately, but it's been very, very angry. So that's why, like, I just kind of been building, kind of just doing what I can, sending and sharing the code with the people in the community who want to, continue to do the same things. And I'm by far not perfect. We all have issues, and we all do our best, but that's all we can do. We can't just like it's sad to see when certain parts of what made the community great became like huge reasons to argue and fuss and fight. And I understand why some conversations and things are held behind small curtains, because when it becomes what should be a small easy fix or disagreements becomes a huge dramatic blowout. And I personally, I don't have the fucking patience for it. I don't have the time for the drama. I don't have the time for the stress. I have enough personal stress in my life besides like hearing people gripe and whine about like things that are just not that important to be honest. And I'm sorry, I know I'm ranting off a little bit, but I've seen a lot of people just building, and I'm proud to see that at least people are just like, yeah, um, all this mess is going on. Let's just do what we do as Caspians. And I'm proud to see all coming from Igra, from Zealous, the Moonbound. There's Cast FIIs building out some stuff. Like it's just insane to see that people are actually just despite all the like weird negativity that's being populated, that they're still doing what they're doing.
I think like that's what I actually take from all of the upset that's happened. It's like it's a bit chaotic at the moment, or certainly has been. And I mean, I think that's just natural, to be honest with you. I think things like this are going to happen and will happen in the future. It just is what it is. There's a lot of intelligent people that are trying to get a direction of some sorts. And then obviously there's going to be head clashes somewhere along the line. It happens. And yes, there is drama about it. But what I do take from that is exactly what you said. A lot of the community are just continuing to build. And that's the beauty of actually Kaspa being so decentralized, the actual network itself being so decentralized, that people can just ignore the noise and what's going on anyway and just carry on building. And that is beautiful. I love it. And I love seeing what's being built out. That peer-to-peer messaging service as well by Oz Ghosty. Oh man, just awesome.
Yeah, that thing's it's so fire. Like I like it's one of the things that like screw X, screw Discord, screw like the fact that you can actually just message each other on that. It's that's oof. I think that's the most underrated thing that's being built right now, and I can't wait to see if it gets even more like awesome. Where like the KNS and them start doing like, hey, you have an inscription now instead of doing all this and using an address. Hey, you're nacho.cas and you get messaged that way. Like I can't wait for stuff like that to start popping up. Like there's so much potential there, and it's oof. But I don't know. I feel like I've talked a long time, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to answer. I like if you haven't checked the mixer out or the website out, please do. If you think there's something that is egregious or something you want to help add to it or fix or you know reach out. And as all of you know, my handle's always been the same. It's at the Black Splash JStar13. Those are my addresses. I don't use anything else in Kaspa. You can always find me in the Discord. You can at me there, and the Kaspa funding Telegram. It's the same thing. It's always going to be the same. So if you're not talking directly to me, and it's most likely not me. I speak normally in public. If you ask a question and I don't know you, I'll make you right in public because it's just one of my weird safety things that I've done forever. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else that I missed besides
I
that you all are
was gonna
awesome?
add, I was just going to add that if the KNS does get added to the peer-to-peer messaging service and Nacho does have nacho.cas, I will definitely be sending feed pics. You're welcome, Ashton.
Sorry, not sorry. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder because I haven't really noticed whether I've got because I used to get loads and loads of scam accounts pretending to be me. I don't know if I've got many at the moment, but Crypto J actually sent me a funny message of someone. It was actually a really good scammer, but he clocked on to the fact it wasn't me because the scammer was actually more intelligent than I would come across. So he then knew it wasn't me. So these scammers need to they need to do the Goldilocks thing. They need to meet in the middle a bit. But yeah, like you said, it's relentless. I hate these bloody scammers, but they're just always always got to keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
Chris, did he actually say that to you? That he knew it wasn't you because the dude sounded smarter?
I can't remember. He said something. You know what Crypto J's like? He's always.
Mate, that sounds exactly like what he would say. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely sounds like what Crypto J would say.
It pretty much was something like that. I'd have to go back into my DMs. But he also thought he saw me walking past while he was having a drink at a pub, and he was shouting out, "And Chris, turn around, Chris!" And then he said it was actually just a ginger bloke in a Womble costume. And I thought, you fucking.
For fuck's sake!
That's really funny.
He done me good.
There's one more thing I wanted to add. I know the one thing that was asked about the mixer is will KRC20 be added to be mixed and so forth, and I'm not going to tackle that because it's whew. But if some other KRC20 developers want to take a look and see about integrating and adding that function, yeah, why not? Because I think it would actually be cool to do it that way where you could mix into a KRC20 and then either choose to have it pop out as the KRC20 or pop out as Kaspa. But that's more of a like kind of a trade. That's kind of what happens on an exchange. But yeah, there's a lot that can be done and ways that it can be done and ways that it probably shouldn't be done. But yeah, I would like if there's any questions or any thoughts, just let me know. I know I've done a lot of talking, so I'll put someone on the spot. Wolfie, do you have any questions or suggestions or things that you've seen? And then I will follow up by saying, Sebastian, you're next, and then Ashton, you're next.
I have no suggestions. I mean, it all looks good to me.
I personally think you're. I'm really glad someone's doing a crypto mixer or a CAS mixer. Like I said, I would value that a lot. But I can see Crypto Ninja's got his hand up. He may have a question for you. Crypto Ninja, how you doing? You got a question for Kaspa Funding?
Good day. Yes, I do. How are you guys all doing?
Yeah, really good. I'm glad I can hear the tractor going on in the background. Good to see you still working, bro.
Yeah, I just take breaks every now and then to stand on my back for a little bit, but other than that, I'm always fucking grinding. You should know this by now.
Oh, no, bro, it's great. I love the work ethic, man. I love to see it.
Yeah, no, just a question for Kaspa Funding real quick. I'm definitely no coder or IT wizard, but I like to create problems or ideas for problems and then have you smartasses do it. Maybe you can knock on Kaspa.com's door or something when you list a token and you list duplicate and you duplicate that a certain amount of those packages, if you would call it that, then obviously the whole batch gets loaded, but then each transaction gets verified. Now that might not be what you're aiming for at the end of the day with the airdrop option in the Kaspa Funding that you were talking about, sending multiple amounts to multiple accounts at the same time, but that could maybe be a step in the right direction so that this program or application doesn't need so much processing powder in the back end to do it all at once. But it's listed as one transaction, but it just gets executed in batches, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's actually the first way when we tried to implement it is what we did is we had essentially each person would send into the mix, right? So say there was 20 people who wanted to mix. There would be 20 people who would send, and then it would create one batch, and then that batch would then send the transactions from there to the hops and the addresses. We were running into, like I said, some spam TX issues. Um, I would love for it that way to be done. One of the main ways that was suggested to us for a true classification was for A to have all the amounts be the same, which I kind of feel like that's kind of limited. Like if everyone has to send 10 casts or 100 casts or 200 casts, and then it pops out um, from one wallet. That was one of the suggestions, but like I said, it's a complicated task to um, ensure that it's like as private as possible. The thing about the current method of the Oscarification is you can do it multiple times. You know, you can send to 3 wallets and then 3 other wallets and then 3 other wallets and 3 other wallets from one send. Which, like, yeah, at some point someone can back, but how long is it going to take them? You get what I'm saying? Um, but I know exactly what you mean. And so on the Casper.com guys
You should you should just let Wolf test it out because he knows all about sending one by one every week.
But yeah, the Casper.com guys are great. I actually we have a Telegram group with them. I'll shoot a message in there and see what their thoughts are and if they want to take a look at it and
I'm
find some.
willing to bet Wolf will get so much more sleep in if his Thursdays and Friday payments gets fucking cut in a third.
Okay, that's the bane of my life. Those things are horrible now. Because every week we've got more holders. So every week I've got more people I need to send to. So it's literally a giant list, and I'm doing transaction by transaction. And I used to do KSPR bot, but KSPR bot just keeps on adding steps. So it just became horrendously long to do it. So I use my Kaspa wallet for it. But yeah, it's a struggle.
So for you, Wolfie, if the destination, if it was able to multi-send to different destinations, it would make it a lot easier for you if it was KRC compatible as well, and not even on the mission aspect, but on the destination aspect where you can go.
Yeah.
All right, this I need to send this amount to these 3 destinations. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, and that would save me an hour a week. And if I save an hour a week, I can start another business.
Well, the thing is also you should, in a perfect world, if you could upload an Excel spreadsheet of sorts with all your wallet addresses and destinations, and then you just manually enter the amount of, in this case, Wolfie that you want to send, but with a preset list, and you can just add more to the list, and then press execute, and then boom, there it goes. That's probably what the end goal would be, right?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, the end goal for me, and me and Ashton spoken a little bit about this, but I mean, we're so busy we've not spoken more. But the end goal would be to actually just have a application or a drop where you feed in what the drop for the week is, and then it goes and does the calculations on what every single holder receives. Because with Wolfie, uh, and as you know, if you own more than 25, you get funds from.
Well, I think you've gone under a rock, crypto.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I just
So,
I had to
well,
slap
you
that mute on
disappeared.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he definitely went for a rock. Sorry, Wolf, I didn't quite catch that last part. What was you saying?
Which part? I had a whole speech.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that last bit. I was putting my headphones in and I heard this tractor going off, so just completely lost it.
Yeah. I was just saying that. I don't know. I'll probably have to start the whole thing again, but I was just saying that what I do need is the application where you can just put in the amount that needs to be dropped, and then it calculates how much each holder gets based on the quantity of NFTs. So it scans their addresses, and then it also scans for the Easter eggs. So we have some of the NFTs that's very unique and it's got extra perks. And then it also works out if you have more than 25, 50, or 75, which gives you access to another bucket on each one of those, so you get extra funds. But that's the future. I'm talking to Ashton about how we do that in the background, and we'll see. We'll see how we sort it out.
Yeah, I actually saw your note over the weekend, Wolf. And your need is very custom. It's like custom business logic
Yep.
type application. So yeah, we can do it 100%, and it's not even that difficult. It's a little complex, but it's not that difficult. We can get it set up for sure. But I don't think the mixer from Kaspa funding will ever be like exactly in line with the business logic you need. They're just two different use cases.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Crypto Ninja. Hope that your tractor hasn't blown up. Wasn't sounding too healthy when we had to mute you, but appreciate the question, man. Levendi, have we got any more questions from anybody else about the?
I was gonna ask Ashton. What are your thoughts? Did you get? I don't know if you got to fully test out the mixer since from day one to now, because it's changed quite a bit. And I always I love your feedback and your thoughts, and I have a lot of respect for you. So if you have any statements or questions, same for anybody else who actually took a look at it.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words, JD. I did test it 2 different times, but I don't think I've tested your latest build yet. So I'll do that as soon as I get some time. But in general, what I saw before was like the need to create more duplicate transaction history. So like you made a comment earlier about how someone suggested all the amounts be the same. I don't think the input amount needs to be the same, right? Like users can send in different amounts of CAS, but having the outputs from those temporary or hop addresses all be the same, where even if I send in 100 and someone else sends in 1,000, it only distributes 50 CAS per UTXO or per transaction. This will help hide the paper trail, if you will, of what you guys are trying to achieve, because all the outputs will look exactly the same. I think also there's a potential benefit to having a queue in this. So like right now, you guys seem to be trying to do it real time, where as soon as I send in the transaction, it's grabbing it, processing it, and then distributing the mixed CAS, which is great. And it's, I think, better from like a custodial issue to have it process immediately and be quick. But if you queue these up, you can use the same temporary wallet addresses, which will also add another layer of privacy to this, because all of the transactions across multiple users will go through the same hop addresses, let's call them. And then all the outputs will be the exact same amount of CAS. So you end up, I don't know how to say it. I guess by way of data that looks identical to each other, you've built in privacy and anonymity. Even though you can still trace all those transactions, you can still look through, there's no way to tell which one goes to which individual. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And the output makes sense.
You're really far away again, man, before you get too far.
Yeah. So the output, the input being whatever, but the output being the same amounts. Yeah. So when we tried with the queue method, right? It became this weird, like, we want to do our best to be non-custodial. We don't want to hold people's assets. You know what I mean? But if we create these batches that hold it, then it becomes like we're actually holding people's Caspa for the mix, and it's a weird, hard thing to try to, you know, to not do, because we want people's assets to be theirs as quick as possible. We barely don't want, we want to make sure we aren't holding their Caspa, you know, and it's a really hard problem to solve, if you know what I'm saying, like, to be.
Yeah, I totally do it. It is a huge problem, and it can create like some more risk for users the longer you hold it. But we do have to be kind of like I don't know, technically honest about it. Technically, it's already holding user funds. It's just doing it only for a split second,
Yep.
you know, like really, really quick. There is still an attack vector where I've already sent in my CAS, but it hasn't processed yet, and then a hack exists, so that we still have that custodial issue. It's just really, really minimized now. Maybe there's a way to create that queue and still try to keep that minimalism. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll definitely spend some time testing again soon.
That's where we need the extra big brains to take a look, because like there's certain things that like we can solve, but there's certain things that like um, people who deal with like I'll use Augusti for example. They're constantly building on the Caspian wallet, so they're so much more familiar with the non-custodial aspects of the transactions than the average coder, you know, and that's why it's important for at least in that aspect for community devs and people who are building to take a look and see these things. But yeah, I agree completely. Like I want the batch method and the queue method because I think it's important for the more ossification, and I think it's just one of those challenges we have to figure out which method makes the most sense, you know. And I know for the like I spoke about earlier, for the true privacy function, we can go out of network to another network and back, but we have to look at the fees that are going to be associated with community members using those assets, and if they want to have their coin mixed into a different project and back, you know, there's those kind of things we have to approach and see how community members feel about it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Lot of potential for new features and improvement, and it's all just ideating and A/B testing and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, from my side, I think congratulations, you guys are doing great work, and I'll definitely test a little more, and maybe we can spend some time later this week or early next or something, just brainstorming on the logic workflow, because there's a couple pieces that are still hazy to me on how you guys are doing it, and I think uncovering more clarity around how that works will help potentially inspire other ideas.
Of course, Edson, and you already know. I'll drop the GitHub, and if you want to, we can go through the code together, and it'll give you a very much clear workflow of how everything transpires. I can also send you like a write out of the process, so you can visualize it before you even look at the code.
Cool, man. I got what you said, but you were really far away again. But yeah, makes sense, and we're good. I think we Jesus has a question too.
Go ahead, we Jesus.
Yeah, thanks, Sweet Jesus. You just gave us an awkward silence. We haven't had one all show, and then you come along with your hand up and give us an awkward silence.
So sorry. The settings on X changed, so it wasn't connected to my soundboard. What a tragedy. But anyway, what I was trying to ask, I had an idea that kind of just hit me in the moment, and like maybe I could be wrong or I don't entirely know what I'm talking about. Like I know it's kind of a whole complex world, but I wonder if maybe there could be something you could set up where you kind of have your cake and eat it too, between like a live system and a like Quaid system, and potentially you can add more privacy between sending batches cross between these wallets as they are and aren't being used potentially. I don't know if that would make things more or less complicated or kind of defeat the purpose, but it was a thought that kind of hit me. I did test the platform a couple of different times. I love how it's grown and changed. It's been very quick and seamless from my experience with it. I really like the direction that you guys are going. Like a lot of people have already said, I'm glad that you guys are doing it too. So definitely continue to fight the good fight as far as figuring everything out. But that's kind of the idea I had.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and that's the thing. Like I said, the more and more complexity we add, the more and more potential vectors we also create. So it's like a weird balance of like, yes, we need, and that's why I said everything's base right now, because we want a base to be able to fully work on and add all these features, but make sure we add them properly, because one misstep creates havoc, you know. And I don't know if you know this. People are oof. Some people have no chill, so we're trying to avoid any non-chill as possible.
Oh no, I could totally imagine it's a double-edged sword to say the least, and you've got to kind of take it a step at a time and figure it out because everyone's going to want to throw their 2 cents in, have their complaints, but privacy is important in the space. Like you said, there's parents and businesses and individuals that are trying to do certain things, and we should be allowed to do that to some degree or another.
Oh, for one, like I said, I think you're doing a really good job. And the main thing to tell people, well, firstly, this is beta, so this is all testing. Go ahead and give it a test, give it a whirl. Obviously, don't do massive transactions, just do a bit of testing. And this is the point of a beta. But the good thing is there's a mixer in the works, and I like that. I think it's a good thing. And yeah, like I said, I'm glad it's you guys that are doing it because you are very upfront and honest about things. You don't ever try to hide anything, so it's good.
Appreciate that. And cheers. And yeah, like mix any amounts, but like I said, make sure you store your session ID. It's very, very important. And we want people to try 1 Kaspa, 10 Kaspa, 100 Kaspa, 1,000 Kaspa, whatever you want. Make sure you save your session ID. So if there's any issue, we can fix it. If you don't provide us with the session ID, it makes everything that much harder because we have to go through every single session. And by going through every single session, so here's an example. If you start a mix on the mixer, right, and you go, oh, I don't want to do it anymore, and close it, that logs as a session. The moment you hit start mix, it logs as that's the beginning of a session. So even if you close out that session and don't actually send any Casper, on the back end, it says this session was attempted to begin. So it's very important to have the session ID so we don't have to go, all right, let's look through 9,000 sessions and go, well, this is an empty session, this is an empty session, this is an empty session, this is an empty session. We can easily go, all right, pull back end session ID and pull the logs.
Awesome, man. So yeah, definitely make sure you save that session ID then, just in case. But like I said, brilliant that that's in the works, and I, for one, am looking forward to it, especially as you grow and make it better, because I'm sure it will get a lot better as time goes on. Levendi, do we have? Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, and I'll mention this now because someone has already brought it up to us, and they were saying we need to figure out how to get it on the Tor network and run it the node on the Tor. If it's possible, it's something that can be looked into. I don't know. That's not my camp. I don't use the Tor network for anything.
Fair enough. I'm sure there's some other people out there that may be able to help you along the way with that one. So hopefully, yeah, you can work that one out. Levendi, do we have any more questions for Kaspa Funding?
No, I think everything's been answered. Nothing's come through the audience apart from Crypto J tagging you and saying, "Remember, you're a Womble."
He knows it's not Sunday, doesn't he? He knows this isn't This isn't Sunday roast. This is blockchain banter.
I think he's sorry. I think he's practicing. He's getting some practice in for that next one.
Oh, he's been practicing since he's met me, man. that guy has no chill. Kaspa Funding, he's the guy you're talking about. He has no chill. I'm joking. I love him. I think he's great. Good bit of banter. Awesome. So
I couldn't hear that. Was that an Android or was it?
We had to get it in there somewhere, didn't we? You can't have a
I had a perfect
Android
opportunity earlier and I missed it, but it's okay. I just had to rub it in a little bit. By the way, it does work. The front end does work on mobile for Androids, so yes, you can use an Android, I guess.
What about iPhone?
Oh, it looks beautiful on iPhone because the rest of the world uses an iPhone. It might look like shit on Android because Androids look like shit anyway. I mean, sorry, did I say that out loud?
It's all right though. They're used to that. It's fine. They're used to just opening up their phone and just seeing shit. So that's it'd just be normal to Android users. That's fine. Awesome. Right, let's move on quickly. Like I said, we're very professional here. Um, I think Zealous Swap are having connection problems, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to getting some updates off of them. But good news is we have blocks, and I can see there's a lot of block members here, and we've got Connor as well, which is awesome. How are you doing, bro?
How's it going, lads? Great to be back on here once again. Been a while since I've spoken to all of you, but I'm buzzing and super excited to actually come to the Kaspa experience in Berlin in a couple months' time. Get to finally have a beer with you guys. Hopefully, Wolfie's bringing the old Viking horns, and yeah, good to be up here, guys. Hope you're all doing well.
I'll tell you what, I
Definitely
genuinely
bring it.
am. Sorry, bro.
I would say I'm definitely bringing them, so don't worry.
Amazing. It's just made that Kaspa experience even better. I was going to say, like, this is something I seriously am looking forward to. As far as I know, this will be the first space or experience where literally the majority of things you can buy using CAS. It'd be like a sort of test run of what the global economy could look like if it was run on Kaspa. So I'm mega looking forward to it, man. And there's some good speakers lined up as well at the moment, and hopefully more to come as well. So yeah, going to be awesome. I can't actually remember the website. Ashton, could you drop the website for where people can buy the tickets, and then we can pin that up to the board as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. For anyone listening, it's just experience.kaspa.events, plural.
And how many tickets while we're here, Ashton? How many tickets left?
Ooh, good question. To the main event, less than 300, and to the after party, which had 100 limit, less than 40.
Oh snap! That's why I got in early. I literally, as soon as they went live, I booked both because I was like, especially the after party. I thought that's going to be gone, and it seems to be going quick.
We can't miss that after party. It's going to be
bro.
a cracker.
It is going to be epic, man. It's going to be so good. But yeah, so we'll pin that up into the jumbotron anyway, in case anyone wanted to get tickets to that. It's going to be epic. But yeah, blocks. Tell us all about you. I don't know who's going to be speaking for blocks. Maybe it's a mix of all of you. But if we could start with just finding out about you guys, what your goal is, what you're up to, and where you want to take it.
Hey guys, Chris and Levendi, thank you for having us on here. I'm Shannon Brown, the president of Blocks. And to reiterate about the Berlin experience, we're very excited about that. We're sending Connor, we're sending Andrew, and we're sending John over there to hang out with you guys. And John and Connor are really just going to have to watch Andrew. He can get a little wild, so y'all got to keep an eye on him at the after party. He can get a little rambunctious. We are Blocks Kaspa. We've been in the space for around 7 months. We were here kind of really early on. We have had some turns and some changes over the last 7 months. Everything that can go right just kind of seems to fall into place with us. It's been a blessing. We are at the core a tokenized mining company. We initially were wanting to launch during the heyday of the KRC space when everything was just flying off the shelf. The market caps were soaring, and we kept trying to we were trying to launch early in that early December, beginning of January time frame, and it just about that time the market started going the other way, and we were really worried about trying to launch during that space because 80% of all the funding we were going to raise from the launch was going to go to buy miners. And sure enough, at the time, it looked like disaster. And the market started going down, and we were just like, we're going to have to sit on our hands at this point and wait for the market to turn around. And so we were sitting around figuring this out one day, and Justin, who's our vice president / CFO, started looking at these miner prices, and they were coming down, just dropping like a stone. What what when we first started pricing was over $4,000 a miner. We're starting to get around 3,000. So we put our heads together and was like, well, how can we take advantage of this? What can we do? And we came up with an early get-in token to go ahead and fundraise. And so we launched Origin, which was our fundraising token, and started kind of grassroots style fundraising. Started reaching out to a couple of my personal business associates that I knew, and started off by selling them some Origin, and we started buying miners and just kept on doing that until we eventually sold out of Origin. And here we are sitting on 50 KS5 Pros and 20 KS7s. And it's been just an amazing experience to this point. Once it really started going, I mean, it was just like a flood. The community just started bumping left and right. We were having, I mean, we had folks coming in dropping 30, 40, $50,000 in Origin. And just, I mean, it has been surreal at this point. After selling out with Origin, we decided instead of doing a traditional launch, like where you would just put it on go out there and like just mint it like that, we decided to go ahead and do a token release, like with a vesting schedule, which has worked out really great. And we wanted to reward the people who hold it, because for Blocks has always been about ownership in a company, and that's I'll get into that in just a few minutes. But and so whatever you hold that of Origin, that percentage is the amount of ownership you have in the company in the form of Blocks. Blocks is actually the ownership, and you get rewarded with Blocks by the percentage you own in Origin. I hope that doesn't confuse y'all. But at the end of the day, over this 10-month release schedule, will be completely, all the tokens will be released outside of what's in our locked vault for future investments. At that point, we will be completely vested out, and we'll start doing 20% rewards on all revenue streams to our holders. It's been get involved, and we want to help people grow, and we want to utilize our community and our team to help as many people as we can, and because at the end of the day, we can all benefit from one another. Get involved, and we want to help people grow, and we want to utilize our community and our team to help as many people as we can, and because at the end of the day, we can all benefit from one another. Our team there, out of everybody on our team, I'm the president, and I'm probably the least qualified for any of these roles. Everybody else is just light years. Absolutely great guy. He's from the UK. He's our COO. Love that guy. Sebastian Allen, everybody knows him as Wee Jesus. He is our practices and just growing and growing. He is our strategic planning director. Very, very smart guy. And then last but not least, we have practices and just growing and growing. He is our strategic planning director. Very, very smart guy. And then last but not least, we have a smart guy. And then last but not least, we have each other. Alex is just an anomaly in the space like this. His background is just absolutely insane. If we did not have George, I don't think he would have even responded if we would have messaged him. But this guy's been in the space since he's been a network engineer and an infrastructure engineer since like 2000. Worked at GE, Microsoft. He was a vice president of Citigroup Financial. Started his own firm as an architect, director of IT, doing cloud architecture, things like that. And it's his own private company, and his clients are AT&T, Pfizer, Mauser, Citigroup, you name it. I mean, this guy is he's amazing on paper, and he's even better in real life. He's the kind of guy that if we're like, hey, we're looking at, potentially we need a new facility with cheaper electricity. He's like, okay, cool. Give me that. And he goes out there and he starts calling his folks. He used to work hand in hand with ASICS Mining. He was one of their keynote speakers for years. He's been in the mining game for a couple of decades now. I think he said he started to get into mining early on. Probably, I believe he said Bitcoin was around $300 when they started to get hard and heavy into it, and he's been doing it ever since. And been advising other companies to grow and things like that. So we also have John Rivera. I know a lot of you know John. He's a very special guy. He's very, very smart. He's our marketing director. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't rest. He's always available. If you ever have to reach out to him, he's always there. He's always. And the first day we made him the marketing director, he sent me over a sheet on Google Docs. It's like, hey man, I need you to fill out some stuff for me. I'm gonna try to come up with a SWOT analysis. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, man, send it on over. It was like 40 questions. It was a term paper. And I was like, what the hell, John? by the end of the day, I had to fill it out. And like 2 days later, he had a complete marketing strategy for everything. John is he's an amazing guy. He's on top of his stuff. And last but not least, man, we got Connor. Everybody knows Connor. Connor is he's going to have a huge part moving forward. A lot of our business, while it is mining, is other revenue streams, which is going to require a lot of face time, a lot of sales experience, and also his ability to talk on a microphone and get in front of people makes Connor an invaluable asset as well. So I can't really say enough about this team. It's just where the amount of experience and life experience with this group makes it easy. Whenever something comes up and they're like, hey, what do we want to do today? Let's come up with a new idea on how to make money. And somebody throws something out there. It's a day from then we're like, okay, let's implement it. I mean, it's amazing how quickly things move and how fast things can change. And to that extent, we're big investors. We invest a lot into this space and the projects in the space. Our investment wallet is sitting at right at about, I think it's a little over $200,000 currently. We're super huge into Zelle. I think we're like the 13th largest holder in Zelle right now. We're big into the Kaspa.com NFTs. We're, I think, the number 8 or 9 holder in that. We're looking for any avenue to not only help the community grow, but we're also looking for revenue streams to help push us forward. So we don't have to sell Kaspa. And that is one of the big things with us is if there's a way for us to pay our electric bill without selling Kaspa, that's what we want to do. And through here recently in the last couple of weeks, we've done really well on some of these revenue streams. I believe Justin told me a little earlier today, we've already got the next 3 months of electricity secured and paid for without actually having to use our mining rewards, which is amazing. So that just means we get to keep stacking Kaspa. Yeah, as a whole, man, that's kind of us in a nutshell. Like I said, we've got Sebastian. We've got a lot of big things we're planning to do with Sebastian. We're rallying behind him. He's a very special guy as far as his ability to look at markets and see things differently. And we realized that right away, and really have got him and really encompassed him into this group and into this company because we see what he can do and what he can bring to the table. And so we've got him set up with building blocks with Sebastian, where he teaches leverage trading and things like that. Sky's the limit with him. He works hand in hand with Justin as far as if we ever have to sell Kaspa or anything along that lines. It makes Justin's life a lot easier where he doesn't have to figure it out. We can just go to Sebastian and let Sebastian make the guess and make the call, right? Right now, we're exclusively Kaspa mining at the moment, but we're probably within the next month or so, we're going to have a few Bitcoin machines. And we're going to start mining a few other odds and ends because we want at least 10 to 15% of our portfolio to be other tokens because, just for security reasons and stability. So we're looking to branch out and go into some other things. I'm trying to think what else we have going on. Sorry, we have a ton. I have a term paper in front of me of all the stuff they told me to talk about. I don't know if there's enough time in the day to do it, but we've got NFTs on the horizon. Those are getting real close to being done. We've got some amazing prizes on that. Let's see, we're giving away around $150,000 in Kaspa valuation. Each one of these NFTs, they have a little spin wheel, looks like Wheel of Fortune wheel on the bottom left. Well, if you get one of those, you get some variation of a prize, right? So these little spin wheels down there, you've got a 34% chance of getting one of those. We have it's a very, very high payout ratio. We're giving away 100,000 Kaspa worth of 10 of the top tokens: Nacho, Casper, Kango, Caspi, PPCAS, Goat, Wolfie, K-Dow, Croak, and Bert. So we're giving away 100,000 Kaspa of those, 10,000 each. We have 4 super rare team NFTs. We're giving away 7,500 Kaspa per one of those. And the ultra rare OG Bob, which is the super ultra rare, you'll win not only a KS5 Pro, but you'll also win 2 Origin. We're calling it the golden ticket because much like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory at the end, he wins the Chocolate Factory. So if you get OG Bob, you get a miner and you also get ownership into the blocks company. So we call that the golden ticket. Let's see, what else do we have? We're also doing a raffle actually to win a KS5 Pro. If any of y'all have ever thought about potentially going out and being a miner without actually having to host it at your house or having your wife bitch about it, like, why is that machine in my house or things like that, we've got you covered. Justin can essentially set up, what we're going to do is we're going to give one of these away. It's going to be located at the housing facility we use now. And he would facilitate setting up your wallet, getting everything set up, ready to go. He would even put you in contact with the lady over at the facility and essentially hand you the keys to the miner. If you decide you wanted to take it home and put it in your garage or whatever, that's completely fine. That's up to you. It is 500 Kaspa per entry to win one of these, and they're around $3,000 on average. So it's a nice incentive to get out there and do it. What else do we got? Sorry, there's so many more things. Oh yeah, I want to reiterate the 20% mark to the holders, right? 20% of all revenue streams after February will go back to holders. And that includes mining rewards, that includes investment awards, that includes everything in between. And it will go that way moving forward. Should we branch out into other companies and things like that, that's also included in there as well. Let's see, John, I know John wanted to kind of talk about some of our marketing and some of the things they were planning on doing in Berlin with you guys, which I'm a little jealous I can't make it, but we'll definitely be at the next one. If John, do you want to tell them a little bit about y'all's plans to go over to Germany?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hey everyone. First I want to say it's surreal coming from a repeat listener to speaking here for the first time. Thank you all for having me. So yeah, like Shannon was saying, Blocks will be at Berlin. It kind of happened pretty quick for us once Kaspa Alliance put the post out there. We had accommodations booked within like 24 hours. Connor, Andrew, myself are going, and super stoked, super appreciative for Justin, Blocks, and Shannon for sending us. I've only been on the team for like 2 or 3 weeks, right? And so them sending us out there is a really big deal. I really appreciate it, bro. But let me get to it, right? We have a lot that we hope to plan. We're looking forward to meeting with you guys there to help promote the event, support the ecosystem, do whatever we can, honestly. So we are preparing for that. If any of you guys want to reach out to us, see what we can do in the lead up to while we're there, please just reach out to me, Connor, Shannon, Justin, whoever you're closest to on the team, and we can make something happen. Other than that, that's all I've got on Blocks on Berlin. Hope to see you guys there. Shout out Ashton at Nacho, the Moonbound audit. Super big deal, man. Super excited about that. Shout out to Chris and Levendi, Wolfie. Thank you guys. Terry, I see you there. Banana. Shout out to you guys. I really appreciate it. But thank you for letting me have the mic. That's kind of all I got.
Love it, man.
Thank you,
And
John.
yeah, thanks for coming up and speaking. There's a lot to digest there, man. That was the biggest monologue, I think, of blockchain banter. So you definitely beat the world record there. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shannon, you missed out the one important thing that you were meant to go back to.
Oh, damn it. What?
You mentioned about going from a project to a company.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Andrew always, I'll do everything right. And Andrew's always leering in the back, like, hey, you forgot something every time. Yes, we're an anomaly really for crypto, as we started off as essentially, we've always had the company mentality, our tokenomics, the way we're set up, everything is meant for explosive growth of the company and the valuation of the company, whether it be real world assets, investments, whatever. That's always been the moving forward ideology behind it. And so that's always been our goal, is to, once we get to that level and once we get to that established point, we are going to officially roll into the business. We will probably be considered an LLC. We'll probably file as an S corp. That will be the beginning of the next few things that we have on our docket. There's a lot of we found out there's a lot of things that we really want to do that you have to be a business at that point to cross those bridges. So a lot of the initial revenue streams we have are very, very like there's stuff that skirts around being frowned upon, but the stuff we really want to get into, the big stuff, is going to be after we cross that bridge. We are looking at a few different locations to do it, and to be honest, right now we're just kind of waiting to see how everything is going politically right now, because it's just kind of all scatterbrained and there's so much going on. But right now, leading the pack, I know this sounds weird, but Wyoming is one of the most friendly crypto states, which is a front runner to where we may officially be located. That or Florida. So that is on the agenda. And once we cross that bridge, like I said, we've already got the board in place for it. Essentially now it's just paperwork. But thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you pointing that out.
I mean, like I said, I'm actually quite gutted I stopped your monologue because I butted in. So that's my bad, Andrew. Apologies for that one. He was going to say it, but I butted in.
No worries.
I thought when you was listing off all your board members, I was literally, because they just kept coming. I was expecting Elon Musk and then Jeff Bezos next as well. You've got
give it time. There's still time. He hasn't responded, but you never know. He might.
Well, I only thought that because obviously of your origin token, I thought Blue Origin. Maybe Bezos is in here somewhere, but no. But it sounds like you've got things structured really well, which is good. It's always good to run things as a business because there's a reason business models work. It's because they work. So it's good that you're obviously going sort of down that route as well. And congratulations on selling out on Origin. That's obviously done wonders for kickstarting you guys off as well, which is fantastic. I can't remember how many miners you said you had already, but what I was going to say is, are these miners hosted somewhere, and are you getting sort of good rates on them as well for electricity and stuff?
Yes, we are. We have 50 KS5 Pros. Once we hit that mark, we have started to essentially DC into the new KS7s because they're more efficient. We have a fantastic facility we're right now, I believe we started at, I believe it was 8 cents. I think it was kilowatt, and now we've got them down to almost 7 cents. Justin is very, very good about putting the screws to people. He's very, very good at that. And he's good about leveraging things to get what we want. But even though that is extremely low for the overall, I guess you could say, hosting facilities generally are nowhere near that. We do have some failures through our guy Alex for where he's looking for us a few more options with some of his connections. So we're hoping to get it even lower than that. But as it stands now, with the electricity, the efficiency of the miners and things, we're staying profitable at, let me see, Justin told me this today, around 5, if long as Kaspa stays above 5 cents, 5.3, we can operate without losing money. Now that we have, now that we actually have the KS7s in, where our break even is Kaspa can drop down to 4 cents, 0.46. So yeah, we're in a really good spot. We did a lot of homework before we found a location and really put a proper screw into them on pricing, and it's worked out really well. I think Justin was saying, as it stands now, even with the markets looking like they are, we're averaging around $9,000 in profit a month right now. And that doesn't include the other revenue streams we've been using for paying electricity and other things like that.
Awesome, man. And is your plan to, at the moment, try and hold on to as much cash as you possibly can for obviously where people are expecting cash to get to, whether it's 50 cents, $1, beyond, whatever? Are you sort of holding that in the treasury to hope that it sort of reaches that mark as well? So then obviously the business has a lot more funds to play with.
Absolutely. That is if Justin were here, he would high five you. That dude is like, his number one goal is, I want 1 million Kaspa in this locked vault before February. And at the rate we're going, like I said, things are going great. I expect us to be well at that probably in the next few months. But that is a huge thing for him. That's a benchmark for us. We want to have 1 million Kaspa in the lock vault. I think that's the one thing I don't know. I know we have probably around 400,000 or 500,000 Kaspa in there now, something like that. So we're getting there, and things are starting to pick up pretty well. So I expect us to be there sooner than later. But yes, Kaspa, we're all. That's the great thing about everybody in this group and on this team. Everybody's a huge Kaspa guy. Everybody understands our goal. Everybody understands why we're doing it. Why it's like the reason we really came up with blocks, to be completely honest, is everything I'm a 46-year-old father. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I have a 6-year-old son. Yeah. When I go to like donuts for dads, they think I'm the granddad. That's me. But the one thing about, I mean, this affects everybody everywhere. You work your butt off, you get your 401k, and everybody's like, oh, I got retirement, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, when you actually get to the finish line and you're ready to retire and do your thing, after the taxes and everything hits, you're going to be struggling to survive. You work your whole life for it. And it's just one of those things that it's always been real bad with. I've always gotten real annoyed every time I think about it. I watched my dad work his whole life. I mean, just killed him. He killed himself, not like figuratively, but just like working 6-7 days a week. And the only thing he ever owned was his house. He didn't have any retirement. He didn't have anything because he couldn't. He was too busy paying bills and keeping the lights on. And I was like, this is no way to be. This is not where we need to be. We work too hard. We try to provide better for our children. And this was like me and Justin, actually, we're best friends. I've known the guy since elementary school. Our kids play travel softball together. Great guy. But we're in the same boat. We're both he owns his own business. He's an insurance agent. My wife owns a little boutique store. I'm in sales. I work for Toshiba Business Solutions. And his wife is working to be a nurse practitioner. Man, everybody has bills that come every week. You wonder how you're going to pay for school, how you're going to pay for your kid's car, wedding. I mean, where's that money going to come from? And this was one of those things that we were like, if we can get enough people to figure this out, we could co-op a way to get out there and mine and find out new revenue streams, because we've always been smart about figuring out how to make money. And they always say, you got to have money to make money. I was like, if we can ever get a group that understands what to do, that understands what we need to do and what we're wanting to do, it's like we can do anything. And that's what we've done. The core holders of Origin, the big wigs and the blocks, they get it, man. We do not have infighting. We do not have any turmoil. Everybody understands what we're doing, and it just works smooth, man. Everybody has their opinions and wants to do things a certain way, but at the end of the day, everybody understands we're out there doing the best thing that we can for ourselves, and at the same time, each other and each other's families. And that's what it's all about, man. At the end of the day, like if something happens to me, I want to know that my tangible cord is going to be able to support my wife and kids 10 years down the road. And they don't need to worry about my retirement or whatever else. And so I have a tangible cord set up for my son. I have a tangible cord set up for my daughter, and I got one set up for my wife. And once we start doing rewards, I'm going to start splitting that. And that is going to be how my son's going to pay for college. It's going to be I hope my daughter gets a scholarship to play softball. But if she doesn't, I hope it at least pay for her wedding and take care of them in the future. And I've always been one of those guys that I don't want my kids to have everything. I just don't want them to have to struggle to survive, because that's one of those things I've always had to bust ass to get it, make it every day. And there's nothing wrong with it. It builds character. It makes you a tough guy who can handle things. But it's one of those things, if I could have made it a little bit easier, it sure would have been nicer, So that's that in a nutshell is kind of what Blocks is about, and why we're so hard on wanting to raise Kaspa, because we think we're early enough in the game that us being able to mine and provide this infrastructure, we can actually help support the ecosystem. We can help invest into these other companies and these other projects and help breathe life into this ecosystem. as opposed to trying to take wealth away from it. We want to give back. We want to build it up and actually have it build up around us. And so that's really the mindset of it. The entire team, the entire group, all of our holders are all the same. It has been amazing, man.
Sounds like an incredible journey, and like I have seen blocks around. I've just never looked into you guys, to be honest with you. There's so much that goes on in space. It's hard to sort of obviously go into every single project there is. But I'm glad you guys have come up on the space and started speaking now. It's good, and like I said, you seem to have your shit together, which is nice. It's always good. It's good to see
Appreciate that.
No, it's good. But I totally get what you're saying about you, like you sort of work your whole life, you work yourself to the bone, and then you normally get left with nothing. And the worrying thing is, that's when inflation was sort of, you could say, was half controlled, not completely controlled, but half controlled. We're getting to the sort of exponential point now where we're going to really just take off with inflation, because we have no other choice but to. The only other thing you can do is print. And at the moment, I think you guys in the US, you're spending like 25% of your GDP on, or your tax revenue on interest alone, like that. And it's only going to get worse. Like it really does. Even if, for example, if Trump manages to sort of cut the deficit down, which it doesn't look like he's going to now with the bill, but even if he did, yeah, it's so short term. It's only 5 years, or I don't know how long you guys have. I think it's 5 years. But like it's in a long time frame. It's a very short time frame. And then the next person that gets in will probably just print shitloads more anyway, because it's what they have to do. There's nothing else they can do. And because we're at that exponential curve of you just have to print, baby, print. Yeah, if you're working and getting your money in fiat and saving in fiat, they are literally robbing you. Like it's like robbing you blind as well. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying about that one as well. I'm quite, you probably can tell, quite passionate about that, and like I want a different life for me and my kids as well. I like central controls and centralization is okay to a certain extent, I suppose, but I always like to have the choice of having a decentralized option as well. So this is why I love Kaspa. Anyway, I've gone right off on one there. Apologies. I was going to say, how are you managing to pay for your OPEX at the moment? Is like you're obviously, I'd imagine you'd obviously have to sell some Kaspa to pay for your OPEX anyway. But you did mention that you managed to pay for the electricity for the next, I can't remember if you said month or a few months, without having to touch your Kaspa. So I'm just wondering where you get the OPEX for that. Like, where's the revenue coming in for that to cover OPEX?
Well, I told Justin before I got on here, and I was like, okay, they're going to ask this question, right? He goes, yes. He goes, tell them that we can reveal that soon enough, but we can't do it yet. And I hate to be that guy who's like, I have alpha, but I can't tell you. It's one of those things that it's working wonderfully, but we have to finalize a couple things before we can initially like roll it out there. But yeah, we've been able to exponentially kind of grow our investments and some other things, and it's been amazing. We've really been able to facilitate. I didn't expect it to take off like this, to be completely honest. 2 weeks ago, Justin said, "Hey, our next month's electricity is paid for," and I was like, "What? How?" He's like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. Next thing you know, he's like, "Hey, by the way, we're 2 months ahead now." And this was like a week ago, and I was like, "Damn, okay." And so he told me before today, he's like, "Yeah, we're like literally 3 weeks ahead." And I was like, 3 months ahead. And I was like, "Damn it. Okay. This is amazing." So in a nutshell, that is working real well. I would love to tell you more, and I really want to, but Justin would probably kick my ass.
So has he set up a private OnlyFans? Is that how he's paying for it?
Well, I mean, Andrew does have good looking feet, and he's risque. Yeah. Andrew's not opposed to showing some stuff, so we maybe have something like that. We might. but yes, man, that's always been the key. Is we don't want to. We're not going to be a one trick pony. The mining is the means to an end. It's the tip of the spear. It is how we have. That's how we're going to pay the essentially how we pay the day to day. But at the end of the day, we don't want to use that. We want to use that to invest in other things that can pay the bills and can essentially. I'll be honest. My goal is by February. I would love to work for Blocks full time. I want to quit my job. I hope my boss isn't listening. I want to quit my job and work for Blocks full time. And the same with Justin and anybody else on this board. We're real passionate about it. We all want to quit the day to day, and we want to focus 100% on building fleet, opening new companies, building revenue streams, and a lot of the groundwork is already made for a lot of this. And we're already to the point now where it's getting bonkers and busy. And it's now like, damn, there's not enough time of the day. How do I go from here? We're like, well, how am we going to keep doing this? And at some point, it's a good problem to have. At some point, we're all going to have to literally jump on the Blocks bandwagon and become employees. I see that coming sooner than later and welcome it. They say if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I work just as much doing this as I do in my real job, and I never ever complain about this. It's not that I don't like my current job, but it's nothing like this, man. It's like hanging out with your best friends, trying to figure out how to make money and take care of your family. So it's all good.
Love it, man. Really do. And really do appreciate your time coming up and telling us all about this. It does sound really interesting. Like I said, I've never actually properly looked into you guys before, but it's really good what I'm hearing so far. So appreciate your time and coming up to speak to us about it.
Thank y'all for hosting us, guys. We really appreciate it.
No, not at all. It's awesome. Levendi, has there been any questions for Blocks at all?
No questions come through because there's been a lot of people struggling to connect today. Something's going on with X. I've had multiple people telling me they can't connect. They keeps kicking them out. They're trying to switch to their brand's accounts and they connect. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, no, because of that, no questions have come through.
I have my hand up.
Oh, Crypto Ninja. There you go. There's the question.
Yeah, sorry, this is a question for Shannon. So I'm not sure if you did mention all of it, because obviously the tractor makes a lot of noise here where I'm at. But how do you guys, I just want to ask, like, how do you guys, because I did see in the Blocks group or something that there was 20 more units, I think, bought and on the way or whatever. But besides just having more coming, keep the lights running. Because I'm not going to mention names or anything, but I know there's other projects that has been shutting off miners and just even solo miners, and a lot of people that I've heard of that says it's not lucrative at the moment. You're better off just buying the Kaspa outright with the same amount of money. But then on you guys are doing the exact opposite and clearly making money. So I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Sure, man. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know. I can't speak for other projects and how they're doing it, but with us, it's always been essentially we got to find a spot that fits us. It had to be affordable. We had to have the electricity at a good rate. They had to want to play ball with us and work with us, and we got that. And that's a huge part of it is having a partner, aka hosting facility, that was able like when we started, we had I think 15 miners at first, and we were able to sell it to them like, hey, we're going to be hosting a bunch of stuff here, guys. Like, work with us and we will grow faster. We'll make y'all more money. And they were able to, they believe in us, and then they were like, fine, here you go. And so we started off at I think the minimum to get the rate we initially started out as usually 100 miners on site. We got it with 15. I don't know, maybe I think, like I said, I think she had a thing for Justin. I don't know. I can't prove it, but I think that's how that happened. I think she likes Justin, but and from that point, so we started off with an edge there on the price. We also were able to buy these miners at bottom dollar, man. When I say, I think the lowest we were able to get a KS5 Pro that I recall was $1,500 for one. We bought a batch of, I think, 20 at one time. We got them for $1,500. These same miners were $4,200 like 3 months before. So we were able to buy huge amounts of miners for a huge reduction in the price. Low energy cost is a big one. And now that we've also, and before then, we were already operating at, I think it was like 5, Kaspa could be at 0.57, and we were still profitable, and it never got close enough for us to cut them off. So we never ever had to shut them down. But we're able to just keep our head above water while it was started to dip down there for a little while. But now that we've actually reduced it and we've been able to get the price down again, we're mining around 260,000 Kaspa a month as it is. And that will go up, which leads us to right around $9,000 a month in profit just in the mining side of things. So as we continue to add the efficient KS7s, that price, the break-even price continues to go down, and we continue to make more profit per, But yeah, no, in my opinion, I get wanting to buy it, and Kaspa is going to go up. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're mining 260,000 Kaspa at a pop a month. It's 2.6 million Kaspa. Excuse me, that's 320,000. I mean, 3.2 million Kaspa at a year's time. And if we're able to offset our electricity with other revenue streams, that's a much better position, in my opinion, than buying it one time and waiting for it to go up. But that's why the mining is crucial, and that's why it's part of the equation to have that investment vault. And if the time comes and it does go to $1, $2, we can take some profit, and our holders make 20% of the profit. So that's a win-win.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. And how much petahash are you guys, or gigahash, or whatever hashes, fucking hash brownies, I don't know, going on with all these hashes? But how many hashes are you guys running roughly, or once these new machines are going to be up, or what do you guys have?
We're going to be right at 2 petahash, right at it. You get more bang for your buck with the KS5s, but they're a lot more energy hungry. The KS7s, I think right now are right at $9. They make around $9 and something like 40 cents a day right now. So essentially those 20 new machines are making somewhere around $200 a day. So around $60,000 a year just for those at the current price. Now, as we add to it, it goes obviously, higher or whatnot. But essentially, we want to eventually start slowly getting the KS5s out of there and buy more KS7s and Bitcoin miners and some other miners. But yes, but we still are. We are 100% debt free, which is kind of hard to imagine in the world of companies to be able to essentially fund a $500,000 company free and clear with no interest or anything. I mean, that's why banks hate crypto, right? That's why we love crypto, is we're trying to get them out of our pocket. And this is essentially the beauty of crypto, is we were able to find a bunch of like-minded investors to come together, pool their resources, and start a mining company without having to get a bank involved. And that is all. We have already succeeded in that point. So take that, the man. But yeah, thank you for your question, crypto.
You've got Andrew's feet to thank all of you for that as well.
Absolutely. He likes to leave. Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm just taking photos of my feet. Sorry.
Yeah.
He normally he likes to send voicemails when he's in the bath. You can tell because it's echoey. I'm like, dude, are you in the bath? And he's like, yeah.
Not yet.
He loves the bath.
It's a British thing. We like to go on our phones whilst we're taking a dump.
Our best ideas come to us. Our best ideas come to us in the bath.
Yeah, exactly. And because we've got such small houses in the UK, it gives us our little escape away from the women in our lives. So we just go into the toilet, lock ourselves in there, Just
Yeah.
they think we're shitting for like 5 hours and actually been on our phone.
Brilliant plan. Brilliant plan.
Very British problems. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you guys at the Kaspa experience. I think that's going to be awesome in Berlin. Yeah, we'll definitely catch up and have some drinks, and yeah, we can sit down and I'll talk to Connor anyway. He's actually a great salesperson for you guys because if anyone says no, he can just punch him in the face. He's a very good boxer.
That is exactly what I said. We're on the same. I was like, dude, if anybody gives you shit or says no, threaten them. It's cool. Just make sure nobody's recording it. We're fine. Like, just don't leave any evidence. We're gonna be good. But yeah, man, no, I'm high on Connor. From the very beginning when we came in the space, he stood out. He was always grinding on those spaces. Very, very open guy. Like he just has a very warm personality, and right away, I was like, we have got to figure out a way to get this guy. I was like, I know he's like doing this other stuff. I was like, we have the opportunity. I want to get him. And Connor really, he was one of the first ones we reached out to when we started moving forward, and that led to Sebastian, and it's been a snowball from there, man. And we keep having these guys that come into our project that are just amazing people. They're just really overqualified for the roles they're doing. They're great. And it all really did come and start with Connor. He was one of the first folks outside the court team brought in. He's been amazing ever since.
You're going to give him too much of a big ego now.
Yeah, it's making me
He might be
blush.
crying right now. He might have a tear in his eye.
Connor, have you had any more fights recently? You used to have like one every week.
Yeah, so I had 2 in 2 weeks, about 6 weeks ago. Took it last minute. It was for like, I don't know if you've heard of Centre Force Radio. I took a fight on 1 week's notice for them. 300 quid, nice little payday, but the guy was 95 kilo. And it was like Mr. T. And yeah, I thought I won the fight, but corrupt judges and that, you know how it is in unlicensed boxing. That it is
Oh,
what it
you
is.
went the full round with him then?
Yeah, it went the full rounds. He didn't land on me. He was a donkey. He really didn't have no technique. But you know, it is what it is. He was just throwing me around in the clinch, and I think they were scoring that to him. But yeah, and the fight before that, completely dominated, but judges gave a fucking draw. So I've been a bit unfortunate, but I've changed gyms now. Left TKO, going up bigger and better things. Training with an ex-pro boxer now. So next one's going to be a big one. So, but I'm going to get blocks on my shorts for next fight because them, you know,
Yeah,
accommodating this trip to Berlin is such a great opportunity, and I'm so grateful. You know, to be able to get on a plane to Berlin and live it up with you guys, you know, all thanks to blocks, you know. So, yeah, I'm feeling truly blessed. But yeah, I've not spoken to you guys in ages, so just wanted to, you know, say I hope you guys are all well, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you all soon.
you know, and I tried to get actually Connor to fight Justin, our vice president. I was like, this would be the best fundraiser ever. I was like, I know people in my hometown would spend thousands of dollars to watch him get his ass kicked by Connor, and he still says it's not going to happen. But I know when he gets to drinking, he commits to dumb things. So that could be another revenue stream. Justin getting his ass whooped by Connor. I'm trying to make that happen.
Pay-per-view, man. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
pay. I'll pay to watch that. Although Connor, you can't knock him out straight away. You've got to at least toy with him a bit. He's a good boxer, Connor. I've seen a few of your fights, man. Not live, but yeah, he's a mover, certainly.
Yeah, it's unlicensed boxing. There's like it's quite corrupt. Like it's not really governed properly. So I'm looking at maybe starting wrestling and learning a bit of jiu-jitsu and getting my kicks up again, getting into the amateur MMA game because it's a bit more sort of you know, governed. You know, I'm getting sick of unlicensed boxing because I'm like fighting for free, and you know, these guys, they don't care about my health. They'll put me in against someone with like 6, 7 kilo or 10, 15 kilo on me. It's a joke. But yeah, I do love my fighting, but I couldn't ever hurt someone like Justin. But if Andrew keeps sending me these bloody feet pics, you might catch one.
Oh, I'm telling you, y'all gonna have to rein in Andrew in Berlin, man. That dude, he's gonna
I'm
be
not
all.
that bad.
Oh, Andrew, come on now, we know. Yeah, y'all are gonna have a lot of fun. I'm very, very jealous that I don't get to go to this one. I'm hoping that one day we'll have one in America, in the U.S. that you guys can come to. Hell, all of us could show up to that one. And maybe in the future. Do y'all know of anything in the near future that's going to be in the U.S.? I know there's one in like New York, but anything in the foreseeable future?
I don't. I know that Cat are looking to put more of these events on, especially if this one's successful, which it's looking like it is going to be anyway. But in the near future, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I've not heard of anything.
Yeah, I can't really comment on the near-term schedule either, but we're very hopeful that not only is this Kaspa experience an inaugural event that we can host every year in a different location, but there are a couple other ideas on the docket to add to that schedule in the near future. So there's about half of our team is US based, and there's obviously a lot of US based Caspians as well. So it's on the list and the schedule for planning for sure.
Can't wait. That sounds interesting as well, Ashton. I've no idea about what you're talking about there. Normally I know like snippets, but that was completely left field.
Perfect, as it should be.
Yeah, exactly. We got a couple of questions. Sebastian, I think you had your hand up first, then we'll go to Crypto Ninja.
Yeah, super quick. Wouldn't know if Ashton would or wouldn't know. With you guys potentially looking to do this as a reoccurring event, is it always going to be the exact same time of year, or will it kind of change? Because this year it's the day before my birthday, so really hard sell with the misses. So I think I'm going to be missing this one. Yeah.
Ooh, we can't get her involved with a birthday buy one get one free or something like that.
I mean, I am trying to figure it out because, push comes to shove with all of the different things that I'm, kind of working on and getting involved with, all the wonderful things that, Blocks is building up. I'm hoping that, in a perfect world, I'll take the birthday month. Everyone always says they want to. And, then I can just squeeze that in. I'll be like, yeah, let's just go to Germany and, be like, let's go to this event. And I have already gotten the tickets and everything. And, I'm just be, hey, look, it's Kaspa. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's cool. Well, hopefully we see you and her there. It was awesome meeting you in Miami last year, and you're obviously a great dude in the community, and it'd be pretty fantastic to see some of your photography work come out of the event too. But regardless, I don't know. I can't really answer your question on reoccurring time or anything. There's no set plans to have it like the exact same day or the exact same second Saturday of September type thing. I think a lot of this is really just dependent on how this first iteration goes. If we get a lot of people there, it works out well, ends up being a good event that everyone wants to see again, then we can look at talking to the community over months and say, hey, when is the best time? What's the best weather setup for the region that we're hosting the event in, and the format of it and stuff. So I think the easy answer to you, Sebastian, is just probably not the exact same thing. And the more people that show up like you and the misses, the more likely we are to do it again next year and fit a time that works for you.
Exactly. See, and that was my favorite part for any of the people who missed out on about the Miami event is the different people that were there. Like, it wasn't all just developers or whatnot. There was couples and people who came, out of state, out of country to visit. And it's always just beautiful. I know there's going to be the after party this time. I missed out on the one the last time. So I'm definitely really excited to go. And I've upgraded the camera this year too. So we're going to have much better quality when it gets a little bit darker. I've got a R7 now. So really excited if I can go to do that. Cause that was the one thing, as soon as you mentioned the event and I found out about it, it's like, I don't think I'm going to go for my birthday. I'll figure it out. But it's going to kill me because I'm going to tell everybody to take photos, but I know they're not going to take photos like me and Cryptoliver. So it's just not going to be the same.
Bro, if you're not there, I'll take the photos, and they will be the shittest photos that, like, you will.
Because you're going to take them on an iPhone, right?
Yes.
Because you're going to take them on that shitty iPhone, right?
It's up there.
It's because they're going to be of him doing push-ups.
I don't want to hear it. I actually have a suggestion. So, Sebastian, this is what you do. You talk my wife into letting me go to Germany, and then I'll talk your other half into going to Germany, and then we all go and birthday party. Yeah, deal. Yeah, sounds good. All right, handshake.
You know,
It
I
sounds
like the
like we
sound of
need
that.
a bring the Mrs. AMA on the Kaspa experience. We'll just sell them all at once.
Or just tell them all, I fancy a trip to Berlin. Do you want to come? They'll think it's really exotic. And then you'll walk past the Casper experience and go, oh, what's this? A Casper experience? Let's just pop in and see what this is all about. Boom, got them.
Chris gets it.
Sounds like a new secret party is forming. Bloody hell.
Oh dear. See how much problem having a girlfriend gives you or a missus gives you. Worth it though. I have to
I was
say
about
that.
to say,
She's
have you
upstairs listening.
considered the problems you'll have without it?
Yeah, no, well, honestly, I do. When I say stuff like this, I am joking. I'd be lost without her. She's a rock to me. So this is just banter, and I have to say this because she's just upstairs listening to me. So it's for my own safety too. But yeah, bro, just bring her along. Just say, look, it's my birthday. Yeah, it's your birthday. You get to decide. You tell her we're going to Berlin. That's it. I'll get you a schnitzel.
And Sebastian, one thing to add on is that there is officially going to be a Web3 Poker Club hosted live in person with a poker table and dealer tournament that does not include any gambling, but does include some prizes. So, I mean, birthday prizes, poker, I don't think you have a choice.
I know. See, when you say it like that, it just makes me so frustrated that the missus left about 30 minutes ago to go on a walk and hang out at the beach. I knew I had the spaces. I would have loved to have gone with her. She's hanging out with a friend from work. But yeah, no, she's definitely going to listen to the recording, and I'm going to tell her like, listen, we've got the time and the resources, and I mean, you missed out on the last one because she really wanted to go, and she'll I'm sure it'll be she'll be mad, but she won't. She cried when she found out about the event, and because it was super last minute, and shout out to Kaspa Funding for being able to help get me there. She was upset that she couldn't go, and she was like, take a lot of pictures, get videos, tell me every second of it, and she was calling me nonstop and wanted to hear about it. But yeah, no, it'll be the perfect thing this time, and I'll be like, listen, my birthday, you missed out on the last one. There's going to be prizes. I've been telling her too, you need to start learning about crypto, get into it, and perfect storm.
And it's in
Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, I know I might be beating a dead horse here, but the entire point of this event is exactly what Sebastian's talking about. It's bring your significant other, bring your, older kids that can understand crypto, bring your friends, your coworkers. The entire idea is to showcase what their economy, their world could look like if we all adopted the best peer-to-peer payment technology out there. So bring them and show them. It's if you need a little cheat code or a hack, cat claim level 2 NFTs get you a free ticket, and there may or may not be some for cheaper than the ticket price on Kaspa.com. So I'm just saying they exist.
Oh snap! That's awesome, man. And it's exactly what you said there, Ashton. It is the perfect green pill or teal pill, whatever you want to call it. It's the perfect green/teal pill you can do. It's the perfect event for it. You literally bring these people that you keep banging onto about get into Kaspa, and they're just like, can't be bothered, or I don't really care, or blah blah blah. Bring them, and they will care. They will go, bloody hell, this is incredible. Yeah, definitely do that. That'd be awesome.
Can I say one more thing on the event, Chris?
Yeah, of course you
can. There's some conversations in groups or private DMs about the event being associated with a meme coin in Kaspa. And we can't deny the fact that our team came up with this idea and built out the plan to do this, and we are involved, right? So Nacho's related. I don't want to hide this, but the event itself is 100% Kaspa focused. We are not going in with crazy Nacho branding or anything that makes it look like a meme coin event or anything like this, right? We've got very strong separation. There is a main event that is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it is 101% focused on Kaspa. Branding, marketing, activities on site, speakers, everything, right? So if you're a potential speaker and you're listening to this and you're saying, hey, I don't know if I can go to this because I don't know if I'm comfortable being associated with a meme coin. The trick for you is to come from 9 to 6, do your speaker session, and leave at 6 o'clock. You will never be associated with anything meme coin related. If you want the full experience, hang out past 6, come party with us, and you'll have fun.
I'm definitely coming to the party. I'm looking forward to that just as much as I'm looking forward to the actual Kaspa event itself. Gonna be killer, man. Can't wait. And Germany, they do incredible beers there. Awesome. Sort of left it on a good note. Oh, wait a minute. No, Crypto Ninja, apologies. You've got a question. Go ahead.
Hey guys, so first question is to Ashton, just checking. If one is a ticket holder and something does happen that you cannot be there anymore, would you be able to gift it to someone else?
Yes, we can figure that out. I'm not sure we'll be able to handle actual refunds of ticket costs, but transferring who can come under that ticket is no problem at all. We'll just need to get in contact with you via
transferring
the email
ownership
on your ticket.
is what I'm asking.
Exactly, and no problem at all. We can do that.
Okay, well, I've got reason to believe that besides my own reservations, I will have tickets for me and Miss Ninja. And on this note, on this platform, I should use the chance to say thank you for Wolfie that said he will feed me while I'm there. And then I also want to thank Chris and Levendi for paying my tickets there. And as a token of gratitude, I'm bringing Chris a decent cell phone, Android. And then Levendi, you must just let me know what I can give you. Some good South African rum or something I can sneak in, or some biltong or something that'll really work yourself there.
Bro, don't bother wasting your money on silly Android toys. Get me some Drive Horse. I'll be more than happy, honestly.
I will fucking bring you Drive Horse until you are Drive Horse yourself. If I'm at that experience, that I can tell you for sure. I'll even do my ninja roll. If anyone here has seen me on TG, there was a gift that was made for me by TG, the ninja roll behind the sand hills and the dunes on the beach. I'll do that. I'll do that live.
I mean, Ashton, this event just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. I'd say that would probably be the main event at the Kaspa Experience. Crypto Ninja doing his ninja roll.
Absolutely, man. Every time we talk about this, thing grows. The only thing we need to do is get you committed to 100 push-ups while you're there.
Better get back in training then, because I've got my dad bod right and truly back. I promise you. Awesome. Was there anything else you wanted to ask Crypto Ninja?
No, the main thing was just making sure about the tickets, because on a serious note, getting the tickets obviously is the biggest thing for starters, and then Visa or like a Shenzhen to just do a quick visit or something. But then with regards to the farming, I'm not 100% sure as of yet if I will be able to make it, besides the tickets and all the other stuff. But I just would hate for the tickets to just lay idle if one got the tickets and you cannot. So transferring of ownership was the big question here, just if it does happen.
Yeah, all we really need to do that is validate that the email address that signed up and paid for the tickets is approving that. Like, you're okay with it and someone's not stealing your ticket. So no problem at all.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers, brother. Levendi, I think I'll cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, no, good, man. I was going to say, how long do we have until the event? You got that many months to train.
What are we now? I actually don't even know where we are now. June, July. June. We're June.
Yeah, June. Have you got what, 3 months?
Oh,
4 months?
God, I'm gonna have to serious. Connor, we might have to hook up and do some sparring, bro. Get me right, like do box fit or something. Get me right in shape.
Anytime, mate. You're welcome around mine. Anytime, as long as you bring the beers. Oh, wait.
I can't have Right, this isn't going to work, is it, Connor? You're supposed to be getting me fit, but we're going to be drinking beers after. I'm supposed to be getting rid of the belly, bro. Worst trainer ever. but no, I will get in shape. I'll do my 100 press ups, and I will be on form 100%. Plus, I've got a merch store to run while I'm there. I don't know if anyone knew, but I actually do own a merch.
Wait, you have a
Wait,
merch
what
store?
was that?
I
That's
know.
news to me.
I know it comes out of the left field sometimes.
You should consider being a vendor at the experience.
You know what? I think I might sign up to it. Oh, love it. Good old Bants. Everyone hates me because of it. I know it. It's only me that laughs at my own jokes. Proper dad stuff. Awesome. Levendi, have we got any questions for Blocks at all?
No, nothing. No more questions have come through from the audience. There's been some technical issues tonight, so we've had people not being able to connect back, unfortunately. But hopefully they'll be listening to the recording and catching up from there.
Yeah, I've noticed that. A lot of people have been saying, haven't they, in the comments, like they've not been able to sign back in or
yeah. It's been the comments. It's been in DMs through Discord and X as well. There's been people trying to switch through other accounts to connect, and they're connecting for briefly and then dropping. I don't know what's going on. There's some issues apparently.
It's the matrix. They don't want everyone to listen to the Kaspa experience and everything because they need the Kaspa price to stay low so they can get in more and then release, you know. That's how it's going. That's why they're driving the price down. So just keep fucking accumulating.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
They're definitely hodling and accumulating, the big boys. Kaspa Funding, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just a quick thing. While I'm in the GitHub adding certain people to be able to have access, I just sent it out to Ashton. If there's anyone else here that's a dev or wants to take a look, just shoot me a DM quick so I can add you so you can take a look. And yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Sorry, I was trying to find the mute button. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you, man. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to add before we close out the space?
Yeah, I got a couple things, Chris. So I briefly mentioned at the start of the show today that we had spent 5+ hours in a dev meeting on Moonbound this morning. And I'm excited to say that we have officially graduated the first test token on Moonbound over to ZealotSwap, and it's working flawlessly. So dev team's actually been working this entire show as well. So I've got to hop off afterwards and just test a few things, but we expect the public beta test to be available. It is all still testnet stuff, so there's nothing real, no mainnet or real value out there. But we expect everyone to be able to publicly test Moonbound in the next 24 hours. So keep a close eye on that Moonbound X account. We'll announce it as soon as it's ready. But yeah, that is basically it. It's everything's functioning. We've got graduatable tokens that get straight over to Zealous with permanent locked liquidity, and it's working really well. So keep an eye on the updates.
What an awesome way to end the show. That is amazing. So within 24 hours, you reckon we'll have a Moonbound public testnet?
Yep, absolutely. My goal is actually this evening in the next few hours, but we'll give it 24 just in case.
Shit,
Nice one.
awesome.
Nice of you to wait for me to finish work tomorrow. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking you could just hit me up right before you fall asleep, and then we'll launch it.
Oh dear. Awesome news, man. Really, really, really exciting. So people, if you are ready to test out Moonbound, keep an eye out on, I assume you'll it'll come from the Moonbound account, won't it?
Yeah, it will. But we repost it everywhere, so everyone should see.
Awesome. So keep your eyes out on Nacho and Moonbound, and then you can get your claws onto some testing on Moonbound. It's awesome. I've already tested it out, and like I said, I have a token. It was called Whams. Will my token still be there, Nacho, Ashton?
No, it actually won't be. It's going to clear. So there's a small, one of the last changes that we made was to the bonding curve pricing logic. And not only is it helpful to the platform itself and makes it a better user experience, it gives us a really cool marketing thing to use too. So previously on the initial kind of internal testing we were doing, we were setting the token bonding curve to start at 0, meaning the first token purchased was essentially, it's not really mathematically possible, but for lack of complex details here. It was essentially starting at a $0 market cap. So the difference between, you know, the first token purchased on the bonding curve and the last was just, I mean, massive, orders of magnitude different. And we made a small adjustment to essentially start tokens on Moonbound at a $500 market cap, equivalent obviously in CAS for whatever the CAS price is at that time, but a $500 starting market cap. And these tokens graduate at 50,000 market cap. It's a pretty fast bonding curve process. And you can do it with as little as 10 wallets, since Moonbound limits each wallet to holding a maximum of 10% of token supply. So we've seen that we can get through it pretty quick, but it creates a lot more stable shape to the bonding curve, and I don't know if fairer is the right term, but more equitable pricing along that curve. And the cool marketing thing that comes out of it is every token that starts on Moonbound will start at 500 market cap and it will graduate at 50,000. So if your Moonbound token graduates, it means it just completed a 100x.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So I will have to go back on to the public testnet and relaunch my token, because it's a perfect bit of free advertising for my merch store, which nobody knows about.
Definitely do it. More people need to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Anything else you need to add, Ashton? Or, I mean, because that was a big news. Anything else?
No, we're continuing to iterate on Catpool, and it's gotten significantly more stable. All of the geo-distributed relays, Stratum relays, are working great. So hopefully miners who have made that adjustment have seen improvement in latency and accepted share ratios and things like this. But we're just a couple days away from Catpool not being in beta at all anymore. So as much as we love and encourage and highly support everyone to solo mine whenever you can, even big players like Blocks, if anyone has any interest in moving over and capturing some Nacho rewards as part of their mining, it is extremely stable compared to what we've seen in the past. We had early on a lot of like pool restarts on a weekly basis to implement new features or bug fixes, and all of that has ended. We actually had a miner in the beta test channel in our Discord share that they had been connected straight for 34 days with no interruptions. So it's working extremely well. And you know, Blocks, if you ever want to you know, distribute some of that hash power, you know where to find us.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Tom, my brother, has 2 KS0s, I think he's got, pros, and he splits it. He solo mines one, and the other one is pointed to Catpool. So it's a cool way to do it. My one, I've only got one, the Ultra, and I put that to Catpool. I did solo mine it before, but I actually quite like Catpool. It's just, yeah, I think even your dashboard is awesome. It keeps me up to date of all the things I need to know, and that's the point. Like for me, I'm not a miner, so I need stuff shown to me easily, if you know what I mean. Like the user experience needs to go towards the slowest person, and I am that slowest person, and it works well. So yeah, it's perfect. In fact, I'm so slow, I buggered up putting my miner over to Catpool, because you obviously have to put the you have to have a miner name, don't you, or a wallet name. I put the name in my address rather than no, sorry, in the Stratum address rather than my wallet address. And
yeah, that'll give you trouble.
Yeah, I was wondering why it wasn't working. That is how slow I am with mining. So yeah, Catpool's awesome for me, definitely.
So what you're saying, Chris, is you're still on 1 brick per second?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I will get to 10 bricks. Don't worry. I will get.
You need to upgrade to the iPhone 7 for 10 bricks per second, isn't
it? Yeah. You know what, Levendi? After you showed me the Nokia video, I actually want to go back. I want to go back to Nokia.
Bro, it's my dream. I want that phone. I can't believe I've misplaced that phone. I thought I kept it somewhere safe, you know, just to look back at memories. But I no longer have a Nokia 3310 in my possession, man. I'm upset.
yeah, at least you know that it will survive somewhere. Like it may be gone, but it's not broken. Those
That's for
fuckers
sure.
do not break.
Fuck it. Have you seen them testing videos on them? Bloody hell, they put it through a press as well or something. It was a heavy press. It didn't break. It went through the metal.
I think if somebody like Kaspa, for example, you know, they're doing their node initiative. I'm wondering if they can just put a node inside a Nokia 3310 and just all you do is throw it. You just throw the thing up into space, get it out of orbit, and or just above, like just on the verge of it, and yeah, that's it. Done. That bugger will last for years and years and years. It will outlast Earth when it's blown up.
We just need someone to go up there and swap the battery every few months.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't think about the battery.
Wait, what do you mean? Those batteries last years. I can't remember how many times I was charging them, man. Not as much as these smartphones, anyway.
Yeah, but aliens might catch onto it and play Snake, and that will drain your battery. So you know, you were always thinking. Anyway, how did we get here?
Yeah, fucking hell.
I think that's probably a good time to close out. Do you think?
Yeah, 100%. It's been an awesome space getting to know what's going on with blocks and Kaspa funding with a mixer. Shame we couldn't hear updates from ZSwap, but we've been experiencing some technical issues all throughout today's show. So hopefully you guys that were not able to connect will tune back in to the recording either through YouTube with CryptoPumpz or through our one on X. Everything should be there, and hopefully you'll be able to catch up. Other than that, some updates from Crumpet Media and Blockchain Banter. We went through it in the beginning with Crumpet Media and what's been happening, but with Blockchain Banter, me and Chris have been speaking in the back end and talking in terms of needing extra help with the accounts and socials. If there's anybody out there that would like or has the free time to give us a hand with our socials, feel free to reach out. We've got a lot going on in the back end and would really much appreciate the help.
Yeah, definitely. And like the position, if someone did want to help out and give us a hand, it would obviously be volunteer work. We don't get paid for this, and we haven't got the funds to pay anyone. But it may hopefully help get your account known more if you're a decent person. And yeah, I mean that's basically the incentive we can offer. But yeah, like Levendi said, we've got so much going on that sometimes it's hard to run the socials as well. So yeah, if there's anyone that did fancy helping us out a bit, that would be fantastic. Would really appreciate it.
Awesome. Nicely said, Chris. Yeah, I think with that, it's very nice time to end the show. It's been a pleasure catching up with Nacho Wolf and hearing all the updates and what's going on with the mixer with Kaspa funding and Kaspa and blocks as well for the first time up on the stage with everybody here. Lord Nico, the Connor, the boxer, mate. I'd love to throw CFB in the ring with you, man. Fucking hell, I'd pay to watch that all day long. But that's another conversation we can have at the another time. Shout out to Sebastian as well. Hopefully we'll see him on his birthday in Berlin with the missus there. Get her all excited for it, mate. Be good to see you as well. It's a good night from me, and I'll see you guys on the timeline.
Yeah, and I'll just want to say a massive thanks to all of our speakers. Really appreciate your time and all your effort and coming up here and explaining exactly what you do to the whole audience we've got. And that leads me on to thanking the audience. Without you guys, honestly, we wouldn't have a show. So really appreciate you giving up your time to listen to us waffle on about what we do. And a massive thanks to CryptoPumpz. I did get it in here this time. I always forget to thank CryptoPumpz, but I do want to give a massive shout out to him for live streaming